welcome to Wild Breakaway with my Green Lamb, Audra Martin. Wow, 25 seconds into the second period, 2 goals, right? One right after another for the Anaheim Ducks. It looked like this was going to be a long night for the Minnesota Wild. Instead, what do? They answer right back. A huge momentum swing, 4 unanswered goals for their second road win of the season.
Yeah, the Wild definitely needed something to spark them, and oddly enough, it was a save that stopped it from being 3-0. Because I'll tell you one thing, 3-0 at the top of the second period in a minute and a half would have just been devastating because of the style of game. You have a 0-0 first period, and then all of a sudden 3 goals. That would have been tough to handle, but it didn't happen that way. Alex Stalock came up with a huge save, and then the Wild got back to their game. They gave themselves some confidence by scoring a goal to make it 2-1, and they just kept working away, kept getting some decent saves out of Stalock, and eventually they chipped away to the point where they were able to catch the lead, and they didn't look back from there.
Yeah, tonight was a win thanks in large part to the Wild's top line. Eric Staal continues to be hot. He has 10 points in his last 8 games in a 5-game point streak. Also, Matt Zuccarello, 3 goals. 3 straight games with a goal here tonight, all adding up to a 4-2 win for the Minnesota Wild. So what was the motivation that sparked that momentum swing? Bruce Boudreau weighed in.
I think it was anger. They got mad. We didn't play very good in the first period, but we got away with it. And then when they got their 2 goals, it was like, okay, just like some other teams have done to us. They got mad and they started taking the play to them a little bit. And I think that first goal by Kevin was a real, a goal that said, hey, we could do this.
So game 2 of the season-long 4-game, 10-day road trip brings the Wild to the Shark Tank, where they will take on the San Jose Sharks and our old buddy Brent Burns, who right now might be scratching his head a little bit, wondering what happened to the team that a year ago found themselves all the way in the Western Conference Finals, came up short to the St. Louis Blues. Right now, they find themselves towards the bottom of the Pacific Division. So right now for the Minnesota Wild, Game 2 is a prime opportunity to pick up another 2 big points on the road if they can put together another good effort like we saw tonight.
Yeah, Brent Burns may be scratching his head, but he's doing it at the top of their stat sheet. He leads them with 14 points with 11 helpers, so he's trying to do his part. But this team right now, it seems to be feast or famine for the Sharks right now. They're either winning games 5-2 and 4-1, or they're losing them in that way. This evening, they were able to beat the Blackhawks 4-2, so that stopped a 5-game losing streak. But they've only played in 4 one-goal games out of their 16 this year, which tells you that they're either going to punish you or they're going to get punished. That tells you, at least that tells me, that they're playing a little bit of a risk-reward type game, because you take a risk and you score a bunch of goals, you end up winning, but if it comes back against you, you're in trouble. The Wild, if they play like they did in the first period and for the latter part of the second period and then the third, they'll win that game, because when teams play risk-reward against you, you can beat them if you play them smart and good defensively. But if you want to play the trade game, you could be either one. So I think the Wild are smart to play the style that suits them best.
Yeah, well, tonight it was a great way to start the road trip, coming back from a 2-0 deficit to make it a 4-2 win for the second road win of the season. We'll see if they can make it 3 and keep the momentum rolling. We look forward to doing that on Thursday night. It's a late game. Puck drops at 9:30, so we'll see you at 9 o'clock here on Fox Sports North. Until then, for Mike Greenlay, I'm Audra Martin. Thanks for joining us on Wild Breakaway.